Hi, this is Erin from BlossyB. Welcome to my channel. I apologise I haven't been uploading as much lately. I'm just recovering from some eye surgery and I'm very excited though to be creating again, and I hope you enjoy this video. The plan is to create a matching trinket tray and trinket dish set with a stunning pastel base and wildflower design. I'm going to be using River Art epoxy resin 2:1 in both deep pour and fast cure, along with beautiful custom UV DTF stickers that I designed with DTF Print Hub Australia. The inspiration for this project came from some items I made a little while back. This is a little heart-shaped trinket dish. This is the mould here. And what I did was I poured in a glitter mix and gave it that nice pretty top. And then I made a trinket tray and tried to do the same with that. So that's the kind of look we're going for today. And then, I'll show you. I'm going to be using a UV DTF decal at the end over the trinket tray like that. And then for the little heart one, I'm going to see if after I've poured it, I can put this in the bottom. So it'll just be like that. And I'll adhere it down. So that's my plan. And what I'm going to use is to try and pick up on this gorgeous pastel wildflower scene. I'm going to use these little Anko, I think they are the little terrazzo pieces, and they did not successfully work in a previous project, but I'm hoping in resin they might, and I thought I would mix them in with this white silverish glitter just to see if I can get a really pretty edge. So what I'll do is I'll just get a little cup and I'll start mixing these two together. There we go. And then this glitter here. Unknown, I'm so sorry. And we'll pop a decent amount in there. And then give that a stir around. And I think that should be quite pretty. I'm hoping. I love how those colours are all the ones that are repeated in here. So that beautiful purple lilac and that dusky sort of rose colour. So that's my plan. I'll go and make up the resin and then pop some gloves on and we can get these edges underway. Okay, so I've mixed up some River Art resin fast cure. It is a 2:1 epoxy resin. And I'm not thrilled with how it's got lots of little micro bubbles today, so I don't know if it's because today is a little bit cooler, but I think what I'm going to do is just pop in a little bit of Just Resin's Pixie Magic, just in case the micro bubbles detract from the appearance. And I'll mix that together. So we're going super sparkly for this one. Super duper sparkly. Okay. Now, what I need to do is I need to try and get a teeny little bit in the bottom. And I'm just, that crinkling you can hear is me opening a packet of these. I don't know if you have them where you are in your part of the world, but in Australia we have an ice cream called Dixie cups, and they're a little ice cream in a little waxed cardboard container. And these remind me of the little paddles that you get with those. Okay. So we'll just see how we go. I'm expecting to make a bit of a mess. And then that can just sort of travel around the edge. Oh, it's not very smart. So I've got some in there. I'll try and get some into here. I really just am aiming for a really thin bead around what will become the top. So I might be able to just gently sort of smush that around. Not convinced that I have the delicacy to achieve this. But we can give it a go. Okay. Oh, that's good. Those two bits have just about met up. Just need a little bit over in here. Oops. Oops. Oh, that's exactly what I really didn't want to happen, but anyway, it's not the worst thing. All right. Despite cleaning that before, I can still see some pink coloured glitter on it. Alright, so I think that is all the way around perfect. And now we will just move on to the oval trinket tray. And we'll just go around and put teeny tiny little bit in the bottom of this. Okay. Alright, let's have a look. Fantastic. I don't really know why I'm fussing over the bottom of the tray, because it won't really matter, but it's just that, I guess, that desire to work cleanly. Alright, now we've got our mixture ready to go of the terrazzo flakes and the glitter, and we'll mix some resin in. And it does not matter if this glitter sinks, it will just make the edge even prettier. So I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, so I'll go back to this one. Just give it a quick alcohol spritz. And just double check it is all the way around, which it is. Perfect. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is just sort of blob it, for want of a technical term, on the top, and then work my way around tilting it. I think that should work. Beautiful. The great thing about these moulds is that you can actually see, because they are a translucent mould, you can see where you've been or where you need a little bit more. And I'll just pack that down in. All right, I'll come back to that one and we'll do the trinket tray. So similar thing here, we are just going for that edge. And I've got this mixture quite thick because I don't necessarily want it to sort of run everywhere. I would just like it to sit as much as possible. And I already know I've got that hopefully smooth edge that I poured first. Okay, that is looking so pretty. going to let that sit for a little minute, and we'll go back to this one. I haven't yet decided what colour to do the trays in. I'm thinking either a really pretty blue, like a sky blue, or a really pretty green, or maybe I even do a bit of a combination or a blend of two colours. Maybe that would look pretty, the green down towards the bottom and the sky up towards the top. Not sure. All right, I think that I've got probably as much as I am going to get in there. So now I'm just going to pop my paddle pop stick down, just seeing if I can force any more down into there. And we'll just give it a little squeeze. I know this might seem like I'm just ruining all the work that I've done, but I'd rather try and eliminate bubbles now. Okay. Looking good. And I'll just clean this one up. Just make sure there's nowhere that the resin hasn't gone down in. Take a little bit of that excess out. And voiceover Erin here, I will hop in as I'm going to fast forward just these last little few steps of cleaning up the two trinket trays, and then I'm going to set those aside to cure before I do the base layer. And then I've got a little bit of resin left over, so I'm going to go ahead and pour into some seahorse molds. And I've got a little heart-shaped mold that could be used for a fridge magnet, and then I've got some super cute little turtle molds that I've also been turning into magnets as well. So like all of you, I've always got those extra little molds on hand because you never quite know when you are going to need them. So after the first layer has cured in my two trinket trays, I'm ready to do the base layer. And I did decide to go ahead and use that idea that I discussed earlier, that I would have a blended range of colours, starting with green at the bottom, going up to blue. And I'm using the Anko range of mica powders. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to make up two each of the green and the blue, but in one each of the colours, I'm going to add in this creamy coloured mica powder, and my goal is to try and get even further gradient in there. So that's the goal, and we'll see how I go. I'll speed this a little bit up because all I'm going to do is go ahead and add in the resin and mix the pots up. If you're working with resin on a budget, I'd highly recommend this Anko mica powder. It really does do a great job. So after blending all of that together, I am going to just pour as evenly in quarters as I can. So I've got my darker of the two greens and then slightly lighter, and then I'll move on to the lighter blue and then the darker blue. And whenever you're pouring resin in different colours, you can have all the good intentions in the world, but the resin will do really whatever it's going to do with blending. And as the resin cures, it will blend even further and it'll be out of your control. So all I'm hoping for is a really pretty sort of a look here. Now I have added in also some of that pixie dust, and that will come into play a little bit later when I show you the demolded results. So I'm just doing the same now with this little heart, and just hoping for that gradiated colouring running down that I think will look really pretty when I pop that UV DTF decal on top. And just making sure that I fill up the mould right to the top, and with the slightest of domes as well, because I don't want to have a harsh scratchy sort of edge and finish to it. So then I'll set this aside to cure. I actually waited until the next day to do this next step. And with the extra resin that I had, I've got a little bit of demolding to do. So first of all, I've got these little seahorses, and this seahorse mould has 2 large and 2 small seahorses. The small version only ever works for me when I'm pouring a really clear resin with no additives in it. So by clear, I mean, with no glitter or anything. So it otherwise they're just too fine a detail to cope with anything too large in it. So the 2 little ones don't actually make it. I look at them afterwards and I'm like, no. So they can get reused into another project. The 2 larger ones, they look great, and they do need just a little bit of a clean up. But those pastel-y coloured terracotta chips and the glitter look really pretty in them, and I'll pop those aside to use in a future project. This little heart shape came out so beautifully. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to try and incorporate it into the pieces that I was making the focus. So we'll see that one in a moment. These little turtles always seem to come out really well, and they are super cute. And as I mentioned before, I've just been popping a teeny little fridge magnet on the back of those and making them up as a little set of 4. Cute as a button. Okay, so let's have a look at the little heart-shaped trinket tray or trinket dish. And this one is the one that I did the gradiated back on, and of course that edge with all the pastel, and it is gorgeous. I am so happy with it. It looks so pretty. And then this is our oval trinket tray, and I love it but I can see I have put too much of that magic pixie dust in there. But I think it's beautiful, and I think that the decal over the top will look just gorgeous. So I'm really happy with it. I'm not complaining at all. I love it. And I think that the sticker that I've chosen is going to look really, really pretty. Now, I did do a video a couple back where I showed you how I designed all of these decals myself and set them up online with DTF Print Hub Australia, and then had them professionally printed and sent to me. And I will link that video in the description box below. It's definitely worth watching. These aren't decals that I've just ordered from anybody or from any site. These are ones that I specifically have chosen for myself for a purpose, and I've designed them in the sizes that I want, and also I've done repeats of the same pattern in different sizes so that I can get a really beautiful look with them all working well together. So these are so easy to apply. You basically just remove the backing sheet, adhere them down, and then when you're happy with that adherence, you just pull off the top protective layer, and it will leave behind this absolutely stunning coloured decal that is very firmly adhered to your substrate and very difficult to move. Now you will notice that I go in and I trim off teeny little bits of the decal that are on parts of the tray that I don't want them. And you can definitely do this. It's not easy to remove them, but it is achievable with a very sharp blade and a little bit of persistence. And you will have also noticed that I removed one of the parts of the decal before I put it down, and that was one of the dragonflies, and that's because I wanted to move that dragonfly over. So these are, as I said, UV, standing for ultraviolet, DTF, which is direct to film. So these are printed with UV inks on a film, and they are cured, and then they are extremely vibrant and very hard wearing. And they also have a completely clear process when you're putting them down, because the images that you want are the only things that are actually printed onto the film. So you're not getting any background. And as I mentioned, these are all my own design that I've chosen off mainly Creative Fabrica. I've resized them, I've edited them where needed. Sometimes I flip them and reverse them and things like that. So they're completely custom made for myself, and that way I get exactly what I want. And yeah, I'm just really happy with this company and with printing these. So now I'm going to pop that last little dragonfly on, and once again all I'm going to do is remove the backing film to expose that adhesive, place it down where I want it, and then I'm going to peel that top layer off, and that's as simple as it is. And there you can see I'm so happy because the edges, which I made using those terrazzo chips from Anko brand, which is Kmart, they look amazing. They matched perfectly. So after finishing the first piece, it is now time to do the little heart-shaped trinket dish. And so what I did is I took a little piece of note paper, pressed it into the bottom to get my basic shape, and then I've got this little square design. Now this square I created myself by flipping over the pattern and sitting it on top, so it's edge to edge, and made a square, because I had in my mind that I would use this as for something. I didn't quite know what when I was doing it, but I knew I wanted to have a lovely little series of images that I could use of these beautiful wildflowers, different shapes, sizes, and yeah, so here we go. So again, just peeling off that back sheet. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get off, but that's good because you wouldn't want it just falling off. And then I'm going to adhere that down to the base, and then just simply pull off the top sheet. And just look how stunning my little trinket tray and dish set is. I love them. So this little bonus piece, the heart, I found another little section of the wildflowers that was perfect for these, and I decided to run it down the side of the heart. And I've also cut off the extra little dragonfly there because I want to place it exactly the same spot as I did for the trinket tray. Now, just a little tip when you're using these types of decals or stickers or transfers, whatever we're calling them, sometimes it's a good idea to keep any excess that you've got, just in case you need to fill in any gaps afterwards. So sometimes I peel them off because I know I'm really confident that I've got everything I need. Other times I might keep just little bits, and in fact you'll see that example coming up in a moment, because I had actually had some leftover resin during this time that I made some little cats with, and here are the cats. And I decided to use the last few little pieces of my wildflowers to actually decorate these cats. So these cats were made just with some leftover clear resin that I had, and I mixed in a tiny little bit of the Anko Blush Pink mica powder, and now I'm just going to go ahead and pop these little wildflower pieces on them, just to tie them in to be part of that whole cohesive set. So I've ended up with quite a few more pieces than I had intended, but aren't they beautiful? I've got this gorgeous, stunning centerpiece of a trinket tray, and I think that the edge is just perfect. All of those beautiful pastel terracotta colours highlighting the beautiful colours in the wildflower design. So I'm just using River Art resin, and I decided this time to use the deep pour because I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of time for any bubbles to degas, and to make sure that I was getting a really perfect glass clear finish on these pieces. So I popped a little bit of resin onto the tray, and then I'm just gently tilting it so that I'm making sure that resin is working its way up to the edges. And I am working on my board, which I know is a nice even surface, and I've checked everything because I don't want I don't want to have any issues with resin traveling from one side to the other. So I'm popping in a little bit of resin, doing exactly the same with the little heart trinket dish. The colours are all tying in so beautifully with the wildflowers and the dragonflies on the bottom, and then that gorgeous pastel sparkly edge. I really can't, I just feel mesmerised by it. It is so pretty in real life, so sparkly and gorgeous. So I'm doing this little heart piece next. So now, because I don't have an edge to work to, I am just going as close as I can around the edges here and making sure that I don't push the resin over the edge. And then I'll go ahead and do exactly the same with my little bonus wildflower pussycats. So the next day I don't so much have a demolding for you, just as a little bit of a showing off. So here we go. Here are all the pieces that I made. So I've got my 2 seahorses, which I'm going to clean up a little bit and pop aside for a future project. And then, of course, I've got the terribly cute little turtles, and these I'm going to most probably just put little magnets on the back of them and turn those into a little set of 4 for fridge magnets because they're so cute. And then, of course, I have got my heart, and this has the beautiful wildflower pattern down the side, and I think I might turn that into a fridge magnet. I'm not sure yet. It is so stunning. I love it. And my little heart trinket tray with my wildflowers all down on the base there. And then, of course, we've got our little bonus pussycats, and they have come up so beautifully. They all have just little accents of those wildflowers. And lastly, my main event, this absolutely magnificent trinket tray. I could not be happier with this. It is everything I wanted and more. And I'm just so impressed with how these beautiful UV DTF decals have just set this off. And look, I'm in love. I hope you like it too. I'm so happy to be back crafting and to be able to share this journey with you. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will be able to start doing more and sharing more with you. And I hope you enjoy this last just a little snapshot of what I've been able to make today. Thank you again. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.